Hello. Today I am going to cover the Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesties Request album. This was by request. One of my viewers had asked for this, and so it's getting near Halloween, so I am happy to oblige. Of course, this album came out in late 1967. The person who designed the album cover was the same person who designed the Beatles Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover. Um, and his name I can't think of right now. But nonetheless, um, for many years it was kind of maligned as one of the worst Rolling Stones albums in their catalog. I think the band didn't think too highly of it. I actually could have done a Black Sheep album episode on this, but I think as time has gone by, especially with the 50th anniversary of the album a couple years ago, I think people are feeling a little more generous towards it and a little more charitable as far as the material on the album are concerned. This is my vinyl copy, and I don't know how well you can see the lenticular cover here. And then the very interesting gatefold and the back cover. The cover is really amazing. It really stands out. It's very striking. It's one of the most visually striking albums that I have in my collection. This is the vinyl. And it's actually one of the few albums in my collection where the vinyl is actually almost positioned exactly in the same direction, but this still has the original inner sleeve, which is pretty interesting. And then for the 50th anniversary of the album, they did a deluxe vinyl and CD release combination. Actually, it's one of the few deluxe editions of the Rolling Stones catalog that I feel they really got it right on. After this came out, I was super excited when they announced that they were going to be doing a 50th anniversary Beggars Banquet. And then it came out and I didn't even buy it. It looked very underwhelming, especially for the price. It didn't give you anything that you didn't have already, just pretty much the album, I think in stereo and in mono. And then same with Let It Bleed. I don't think there was really a whole lot to recommend it, especially for the price. They included the mono version of that, which essentially, from what I understand, is just a fold down of the stereo version anyway. But I'm not going to get into those other albums because I'm here to talk about their Satanic Majesties Request. But this is the 50th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. Now, whatever you call it, the negative or whatever the plate or whatever it was that was used to make the original lenticular cover from the original pressing of the album was somehow destroyed over the years, and so they had to kind of recreate the lenticular cover for the anniversary. You can kind of see here as you turn it, the Rolling Stones heads turn to the side. The four faces of the Beatles from the gatefold of the Sgt. Pepper album are hidden here also within the artwork. But it's just a great cover. You could kind of stare at it for hours. And then this opens up to the original gatefold. But then, and I don't know how well this is going to translate on camera. I already lost the booklet here, so we'll discuss that first. This was the booklet that came with it, and it's got essays and photographs. That's the only thing I wish they had done more of, like a hardcover book on this, but I'm not going to complain because the rest of the album packaging is really phenomenal. So as I was showing, this is the gatefold, and then it actually opens up again like this, and there's the mono CD and the stereo CD are included here. And then the bottom portion of this houses the actual album sleeves. There's a stereo version of the album and then the mono version. And they're housed in a sleeve similar to the original pressing. This is on 180 gram vinyl. This version happens to be the stereo, which they pressed on the Decca label. And I don't know in Britain if the UK copies have the blue inner sleeve or the red one like I had in my copy, but just figuring how to stick these back in here is interesting. All right, so the stereo goes in this side, and then the mono copy is in the red sleeve. And this is on a light blue Decca label. So the CDs are on the London label, and then the actual albums are on the pressed on the Decca label. So really good, you know, packaging there. Not only do you get the CDs, but you get the albums, you get the booklet. And again, figuring out how to fit these in here is a bit tricky, but all in all, a great package, definitely worth the money. I think I got this probably for not much more than $60 actually. I found it on eBay and nobody else bid on it, incredibly, so I kind of got it for a steal because I think it retails on Amazon for over $100. CDs that I have, this is the original Abco, call it remastered CD, although I think the sound quality is not as great as the subsequent remaster that they did. This is what the CD itself looks like. And it's interesting because this came with actually 2 copies, maybe one of the first CDs, the only CD maybe I have where they, in error, included 2, I don't know what you call them, the little inserts for the CD. And then in, I forget what year it was in the 2000s, they issued it on the SACD version. It's got a little bit of a sparkly cover. The border here does not have a 3D or lenticular cover on it. It's still just a static photo. That cover looks the same. And this is what the inside and the CD looks like. And then this opens up here to have some album credits. And then the last one I have to show is the mono copy that I have from the Stones mono box set. And this is pretty faithful to the original album as it was pressed. And then the CD itself is the London label. And that is my collection of that. Now, what do I think of the album? I will do a little bit of a track by track, just kind of a quick assessment on it. So, Sing This All Together sounds like a very thrown together song. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's just sort of very, I don't know, slapdash. Just not a very memorable melody. We got some horns in the background. Just it's mostly acoustic, almost like a raga beat going on in the background. So it's okay, but I'm not a huge fan of it, nor am I a fan of what you might consider the reprise at the end of side 1, which is Sing This All Together. see what happens. Just kind of a trippy collage of sound. Second song, Citadel, is a little more sounding like the classic Rolling Stones. Like that song a lot. In Another Land was a song composed and sung by Bill Wyman, which I do enjoy. It almost sounds like a Syd Barrett track, like it could have appeared on Piper at the Gates of Dawn. So, not great, but I enjoy it. 2000 Man, a good song. Kiss covered it on the Dynasty album. I kind of like Kiss's version a little bit better, but this is still a good version that they do here. On side 2, you've got the classic She's a Rainbow with Nicky Hopkins on lead piano. He really made that song, if you ask me. Just his whole keyboard skills on that track are fantastic. Then The Lantern, which is a decent enough track. Almost reminds me of something like Led the Way to Beggar's Banquet with the acoustic guitar and then kind of the lead slide guitar. Sounds very cool. Gomper is okay, just average. 2000 Light Years from Home might be my favorite track on this album. I think it's very cool, very psychedelic. You got the Mellotron there, which is one of my favorite 60s instruments, so it sounds fantastic. And then On With the Show is just sort of almost like a Magical Mystery Tour kind of song with Mick Jagger acting as kind of like the MC at a nightclub or something like that. So it's okay. It's kind of a whimsical way to end the album. Overall, not one of my favorite Stones albums. I don't hate it. I don't think it's poor by any stretch. But just in terms of the Stones 60s albums, it's not my favorite. I would probably rank it near the bottom. But the Stones had so many great 60s albums that it's not to take anything away from it, like I say. So that is my their Satanic Majesties request collection. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great Halloween, and take care.